All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting daily vlog. This is Daily Vlog 2025, number 173. And today, I have an update from yesterday. So if you watched my video yesterday, I bitched about specifically Foundry, but basically a couple different, like Fantasy Grounds is another one I'm not particularly fond of. I don't like Foundry. Though I will admit, Foundry is not nearly as just massively obtuse as Fantasy Grounds is. And a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that Fantasy Grounds has existed for forever. And Foundry, I believe, is relatively new, as in it hasn't existed for 20 years. But one of you wonderful people kind of called me out on my bluff of basically, okay, well, if Roll20 can do all these things, where's the best place to learn about it? And I'm going to be 100% blunt with you guys. I have learned all of this stuff because, again, I've been using Roll20 for a decade. And I have learned all of this stuff just by running Roll20 games. And that's generally what I tend to recommend most things. If you have the ability to spend some time where you're not actively running a game, you're not doing anything, you're not prepping for anything, you just get to go around and explore. I believe that Roll20 is relatively intuitive. Like, most of the stuff that you can do in it is intuitive enough that you don't need like a guide or anything like that. And quite a few more things that do require a little bit of know-how. Roll20 has gotten really good at either having like pop-ups that go, hey, by the way, you can do this, this, or this, or having things kind of automated to just kind of happen. However, some of the more advanced features were things that I learned from literally just Googling how to do this in Roll20. And so instead of replying to that post with, well, figure it out yourself, which is a dick move, I made the decision that I am going to record a kind of intro to running TTRPGs in Roll20. I know I have done... I had a video series... I had a video series called Mastering Astral Projection, which was basically... I made it during lockdowns, and it was basically, hey, this is how you can run stuff... this is how you can run stuff remotely and make it still feel like you're running at it at the table. But that series itself was not focused specifically on Roll20, and I can't remember, to be blunt, I don't think I went into too many details. I definitely didn't do a full how-to. So, for the past 3 hours, I have been messing around in Roll20 specifically, so that I can run, or I can record a intro to Roll20. It shows all the different features and stuff, specifically features that I have seen a lot of people tell me that, oh my god, Foundry is so much better because it has this. It has a little action bar that you can make, so you don't have to open your character sheet. Roll20 has it too. Well, it can do that. Roll20 can do that too. So that's going to kind of be the focus. So I'm just going to go through everything I know in Roll20 and go, hey, this is how this works, and this is how you can use it. And this is how this works. I'm going to have Roll20. I'm actually going to build a game right there. I'm going to show macros and tables and all the fun stuff that you can do in Roll20 so that anybody that wants to can sit down and watch this video and get an idea of, oh, that's how I can do it. And then in addition to that, I'm going to have links to things like, there's a thing called the Roll20 Wiki. It is a phenomenal resource if you want to get into more of the complex stuff. Like the macros I'm going to show are going to be very simplistic, like insanely simplistic, or drag and drop stuff, because that's another thing you can do. You can drag and drop abilities from your character sheet directly onto your macro bar. And then if you want to, you can combine different ones to make kind of it's a cool thing. But the macro system in Roll20 is impressively complex, and when you combine it with the fact that you can create custom attributes for character sheets and things like that, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. And then there's also Roll20 actually has an API that if you understand programming and how to use an API, you can create your own custom plugins and other stuff like that that actually interact in real time with Roll20. So things like, I don't know if anyone's done this specifically, but I've heard it's possible because it's trackable in Roll20. But things like creating an overlay or something like that live tracks hit points or something like that. Theoretically, if my understanding of the API is correct, that's something that you theoretically could do. It would take a lot of work and a lot of knowledge of programming. I'm not going to be talking about the API or anything like that. The other thing I'm going to be fixated on is the stuff that I'm going to be talking about is 100% free. I'm not going to be using any of the stuff that I get from my subscription. The only things that I'm going to be focusing on is the free stuff, because again, that's been another one of the complaints that I've heard from like Foundry and Fantasy Ground users is, well, I can just pay once. I don't have to use a subscription. You don't for the vast majority of the stuff on Roll20. So, just because I'm a spiteful little asshole, and someone asked, I figured it would be a cool video. And if my brain will let me, I will even try to timestamp things so that later on, if people want to use it as a resource as opposed to just a cool video to watch the whole thing, they'll be able to do that. So that is my plan. My hope is to record it either today or tomorrow and have it out by tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to work. But bare minimum, I'd like it out this week. Hopefully with that, again, if I have another person that tells me, oh yeah, Foundry's significantly better, I can just go watch this video and then tell me what Foundry can do that I didn't just do for free right there in like 20 minutes. And again, this is not like, if anyone is like getting upset with me because I keep like shitting on Foundry, it's not that I think Foundry is a bad program. It's the same reason why I have an unhealthy dislike of Pathfinder. It's not that I think Pathfinder is a bad system. It's a fine system if you want something really, really crunchy that's been over-designed. But there's a lot of fun stuff you can do in Pathfinder. However, it's a meme at this point of Pathfinder fixes that. This idea that Pathfinder is like the superior version of Dungeons and Dragons. And everyone that plays 5th edition is either just too stupid to be able to play Pathfinder or too ingrained in their cult-like behavior in order to switch over. And if they would just try Pathfinder, they would realize that it's so much better than D&D. It's not. It's different. And I think the same thing is true about Foundry. If I hear another person say to me, oh, Foundry is so much better than Roll20, it's not. It's different. And for some people, because of how Foundry is set up and the leaps of logic that it does, for some people, their brains just naturally gravitate to that style of thinking. Whereas I don't know if it's just because I grew up, like I had my first computer when I was like 6 in the 90s. And I learned, my first computer operated on MS DOS. And I have done, like, in addition to this, like, I still own a copy of a music notation software called Sibelius. And as much as that may sound, it's like, well, what does that mean? Sibelius has so many things that you can do with it. Like, it's not just, oh, here's 5 lines and, some sharps and flats. Go ahead and, like, you can orchestrate with it. You can have it play back things. You can tie in movies. Like, you can bring movies into the program itself and use it to help score a trailer or a movie itself. Like, it is phenomenally impressive, the amount of stuff that you can do with this single program. But in addition to having to understand music composition, you also have to understand all the technical stuff behind it. And I learned Sibelius back when I was in high school, and I started writing music. I actually have 2 movements of a symphony that I wrote. I have the first movement and the third movement of which is supposed to be a 4-movement symphony. One day I will try and go back and finish the other 2 movements so I can actually have a full symphony. But yeah, so I don't know if it's just because I'm so used to, and again, I did Excel stuff and had to learn all of that, and working in Notepad. Like, I'm so used to, I guess, that style of the thinking, that things like Macs drive me nuts, because I'm so used to how PCs and Microsoft products work and their leaps of logic, that I can intuitively figure out anything in most of those without too much difficulty. But Macs use such a different process, and Macs are so limited in what they allow you to do intentionally, because it's a feature, not a bug, because it makes it significantly harder to break them and do things that you're not supposed to do. But because of that, and because it just thinks differently, Macs annoy the hell out of me. And I think that is like one of the biggest things between Foundry and Fantasy Grounds and Roll20 and whatever your chosen virtual tabletop is. If it fits your particular thinking style, it's going to feel better to you. And I think that's what makes a lot of people like, oh, but Foundry is so much better. It's so much more intuitive. I'll be like, no, it's not. Look, when you do this, and this, it takes 17 keystrokes. I can do the same thing in Roll20 in like 7. How is that more intuitive? Well, because this makes more sense. Whereas that, why would you ever look in this place for that? Why wouldn't you look in this place for that? It makes perfect sense that it would sit there. I think that's where the disconnect with a lot of people is. And a lot of people don't realize that there are different ways of thinking. Not just, different opinions and the things like that, but people's brains work in different ways. And they will see, A, B, C, and the natural progression between that. And some people will go, well, that doesn't make sense because of this and this and this. And it's like, well, I'm, because A, B, C, they are, viewing it by the number of strokes in the letter. And C only has 1 stroke that you make, whereas B, you can have 3 strokes, and A also has 3 strokes. So going from A to B to C doesn't really make sense because you're going 3, 3, 1. That doesn't make any sense at all. It would make much more sense if you put either the C first, so it's 1, 3, 3, or you could put the C in the middle, and then you have a kind of a palindrome style thing where it's 3, 1, 3. But 3, 3, 1 just feels really, really weird because it's not numeric. It's not numeric order. It's not. It just doesn't make sense. So I think that's one of the reasons why quite a few people will say, "Oh no, Foundry's so much better." It's not. It's different. And that's where I have my biggest issue is people going, "Oh, Foundry is so much better." It's not better. Roll20 is a phenomenally powerful platform that does allow you to do just about anything you want to be able to do. And it's only getting better with its integration with Demiplane and stuff like that. It's only getting better. And it also has integration with the DMs Guild. Like, you can sell stuff on the DMs Guild for Roll20. You can also do that, I think, with Fantasy Ground. I don't think you can do that with Foundry. Yeah, like, it's only getting better, and it just really, really annoys me and upsets me when people go, oh no, this is better. It's not better, it's different. And that's perfectly fine. If that's what you prefer, that's great. But don't try and say it's better. It's better. It's not. It's different. So, yeah. And I get the irony of me bitching about how Foundry annoys me and everything, and then trying to say, but Roll20 isn't better. Foundry isn't better. It's just different. But Roll20 is better. I get that. I get the irony. Anyway. So, interested to hear from you guys. Is anyone at all interested in seeing this video that I'm hopefully going to be recording tonight or tomorrow? Whether you guys are or not, I've put enough work into this that it's going to become a thing. It just may be the least viewed video I've ever put on this channel. But yeah, I'm interested to hear from you guys. Anyway, it's all for me today. I will see you guys next time, all right? Bye-bye.